Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to address a question I got in the comments the other day on my bench press video, and actually this was asked by several people and I just included the one there. So what is the issue with that? Why do I tell people that stopping short of your chest on the bench press can cause injuries when a lot of people say the exact opposite? The reason a lot of people tell you to shorten the range of motion to avoid hurting your shoulders is because when a lot of people do the bench press, they're way up here like this. They're touching really high on the chest. Elbows are really flared, and to come all the way down, their elbows come all the way out here past 45 degrees from the body at the bottom. That causes risk of injury. And you'll note that, again, as you go further down, it becomes more pronounced. So when they touch at the bottom, the elbows come all the way up. So it's here like this when they get all the way down. And because so many idiots bench press high up on the chest, which causes injury, that's the reason people are told that. However, if you touch the chest in the correct position, down here below the nipple line, the elbows don't go beyond 45 degrees from the body. So when you're down here at the bottom, it looks like this. So there's a big difference there. And the reason people are told that is because they don't know how to bench press correctly. So if you're bench pressing correctly, then your shoulder joints are kept in a safe position when you're at the bottom, even when you sink it all the way into the chest deep and let your head lift off the bench and let it sink really deep in, you're still in a good anatomical safe position for your shoulder joints. So what's the big deal here? Well, the thing is, when you're dealing with strength and range of motion, we have something called joint angle specificity in exercise science. And what ends up happening is that if you don't go all the way down, you not only don't get flexibility in your joint and flexibility in the muscle by putting enough stretch on it, what ends up happening is that you don't get strong at the bottom range of motion. And all of that's well and good when you're doing partials like that with a weight that you're not strong enough to actually touch your chest with and press off of. You get stronger and stronger with a weight you can't use for the full range of motion. And eventually what ends up happening, if something goes wrong, you have no way to stop the weight from coming down. If your spotter doesn't catch it in time, or you're not pressing off pins or a board press and you're just using the air to stop it and just using your muscles to stop it, what ends up happening, eventually, again, the chest muscles get too tight because they're not being trained to the full range of motion and stretch. You don't have any strength and flexibility in that bottom range of motion. It makes your pecs a little tighter. And what ends up happening is that it puts them at a higher risk of injury just by their own physiology. But then what also happens, if you lose control of the weight for any reason and you fail a rep and your spotter can't grab it before it hits your chest, you now have a weight that is possibly heavier than you would be able to train at all with a muscle that's too tight, now stretching it with a weight it can't handle through a range of motion it's not used to doing. And it puts you at a very high risk of tearing a pec or tearing a chest tendon. So that is why not touching your chest on the bench press is actually very risky and has a chance of causing you injury down the road. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot before I go. Oh, Mount Vesuvius.